Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Today I got some really important things I want to cover with you guys to get prepared for the upcoming bull run. I want to get you mentally prepared and your portfolios prepared and your finances prepared for the upcoming bull run and how we can strategize to be ready for it in this accumulation phase. Some things I want to cover for you guys that I think are really important to keep in mind. So I'd appreciate it if you guys subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. All right guys, let's jump into it. All right, so we've got to get prepared for the bull run, and we got goals for the bull run. These are two of my sheets that I've covered before in these videos. I just want to go over some things that I think are critical here. There's some things that I want to say to you guys who are, I think, just a little bit misguided on a few things out there. So I want to make sure that you're keeping a straight head, and so you don't get screwed in the upcoming bull run and get wrecked. So to get prepared for the bull run, guys, I want to make sure that you guys aren't FOMOing into any projects that are out there that are pumping really hard. I know some people were FOMOing into Caspa, and Caspa is a great project. There's nothing wrong with investing in Caspa. Same thing with Bitcoin Cash. People were FOMOing into these projects, even at, like Bitcoin Cash, people were still FOMOing in at $300, and they were laughing at me when I was telling them it's going to have a correction, and they were saying, oh, it's just getting started, blah, blah, blah. And then a few weeks later, they're still laughing at me, because I was saying, around $280 or so that I would wait for a correction before I would invest in that thing. And people were laughing at me. And then it got to $300, $325. And people were like, well, how's that correction working out for you? It's like, it's only been a month, guys. The correction is coming, trust me. And you know what? Bitcoin Cash is down to like $180 now from $325. So it's had a correction. And it's likely going to see lower than that before the Bitcoin halving. So FOMOing into these projects is a horrible idea. Caspa is a great project. It was up over 5 cents now, and it's come back down around the 4 cent, little over 4 cent range recently. So that is a decent correction, but it still could come down more. So keep that in mind. So I just want to warn you guys not to FOMO into these projects that are pumping. Wait for a correction. Even if it keeps going, at some point it's going to have a correction, and that's when you buy in, is when it's had a decent correction, not when it's shooting to the moon, because you can really get burnt doing that. So just be careful. And I want to remind you guys again to make sure that you've got a list of your favorite coins that are great projects to have in mind, and make sure that you're covering yourself when you have a list, because I see people out there and they don't have a spread portfolio. They're not diversified. They're all in on Caspa. And Caspa is a great project, but what if something bad happens with Caspa? What if it turns out like some of these other projects where there's some kind of scheme going on behind the scenes that nobody's aware of right now, and all of a sudden it gets investigated and it gets shut down for some reason? Now, I'm not saying that is going to happen, because Caspa is pretty decentralized, but things do happen, and you can't just go all in. I mean, you can go all in on one project, but it's not a wise idea. At least have like 3 to 5 different projects that you're invested in, because some of them are going to do fantastic, and some of them aren't. I'll give you a perfect example. H-bar last bull run, everyone thought that thing was going to the freaking moon, and it didn't. It didn't go that high at all. It only got to like a 6 billion market cap. People were expecting H-bar to get to like, $2-3 last bull run, and it didn't. Now, I think it could this bull run, because of all of the backing that it has. All the partnerships are just fantastic with H-bar, but and it, it could still only hit 50 cents to $1. You just don't know. So don't go all in on any project. I know there's people that are all in on Caspa. There's people that are all in on H-bar. There's people that are all in on a lot of different projects, but you really don't want to do that. It's not a smart investment, because, people have made that mistake and gotten burned so many times. And just keep that in mind. You want to be diversified. Another thing is, it's okay to invest in some of these meme coin projects, but put smaller dollar amounts in them. Make sure you're not too heavily invested. Even these projects that I think are fantastic, like Myria and GFAL and stuff like that, don't go all in on any of these. They're small cap coins. They're still high risk. I think they're going to do fantastic in the bull run. but make sure that they're a smaller portion of your portfolio. You know, I have a pretty good sized portfolio. It's not as big as some of the investors out there. Obviously, I've got a 5-figure portfolio, but you know, as far as like Myriad and GFAL and that, I've only got like, you know, a little over $1,000, $1,500 of those. I'm not going to go like $5,000 or $10,000 in on those projects because they're still a high risk, but high risk, high return. So keep that in mind, and just make sure that you're not jumping all in on these micro caps and small caps, because you could really get burned that way. Another thing I wanted to do is have you guys pick out your price points on what you want to sell your coins at. I've covered a lot of my videos. When I do cover a coin, I try to let you guys know the point where I would start selling and taking profits out. You know, like H bar, if I was going to take profits on that one, I would likely start taking profits out around 45 cents, because I want to take some out before that 50-cent mark, where a lot of people are going to be cashing out, because there's a lot of people that bought at the top of the last bull run. There's a lot of people that bought at 50 cents and they've been holding this whole time. So there's going to be a lot of selling pressure at that 50-cent mark. So I'm going to be taking at least, you know, 10 or 20% out at the 45-cent mark. So that way I would be in profit and not have to worry about the rest of my H bar is now house money. And if I lose it, I haven't lost any money. I'm just playing with all profit at that point. So kind of keep that in mind, that you're keeping price points in mind and when you want to start taking profits. Don't wait for a certain dollar amount, because you could easily get burned. I know some people are like, you know, well, I'm not going to cash out of my H bar until $2. I know some people are saying that, like with XRP, they're not going to cash out until $100. Okay, well, you may be waiting forever. You just might be, because it may never happen. I know some people are saying they weren't going to cash out their H bar until it hit $10. Well, that could be, you know, 20, 30 or so before that happens. So just really be careful. Be prepared. If you're planning on holding your projects till a certain price point like that, be prepared to hold it for years, you know. And people that think that we're not going to have another major correction after this bull run, I think you're going to be sadly mistaken, and you're going to be very depressed when your coins come crashing to the ground 80 to 90% after this next bull run, because it's more than likely going to happen. And there's been lots of people out there that keep thinking that, well, we're getting this mass adoption, and that, you know, things are not going to come back down as hard as they did this last time. Well, people were saying that the last bull run and the bull run before that. And you know what? Even Ethereum crashed like 85 or 87% in this last bear market from the last bull run. So most of the coins crashed over 90%, and that's very typical. So if you're not wanting to take out profits on the way up this bull run, guys, be prepared to hold until the next through the next bear market, and you'll be holding for a good 3 years before you start seeing profits again, possibly 4. So keep that in mind. And I'm not covering everything on these sheets. You guys can screenshot these and use them if you want for your guides. But, you know, I think that it's important to look at these things and keep a reminder in your head of what you should be thinking of. As far as your goals for the bull run, that's where you want to figure out how much money you would like to make in the upcoming bull run, and try to plan accordingly, so you know how much you want to invest based off from your price targets. And I would base this off from what you think the coin could do as a minimum, and then anything above that is bonus money, because you don't want to like plan for a higher dollar amount and then it doesn't hit that, and then your plans are completely destroyed. You know, like if I want to get $100,000 out of this upcoming bull run, I'm going to invest at least $10,000, figuring that, you know, quant is going to, like if I were to use quant as an example, I'm very confident quant is going to hit $1,000 from its current price, which would be a 10x. And if I end up getting it to hit, you know, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, that's a bonus, man. You know, and the same with all of my coins. I'm going to plan on trying to get at least a 10x out of them. If I get a 20 to 30x or more on some of these, fantastic. But I'm going to start taking out some serious profits at 10x, and then in small chunks on the way up there. And you just have to kind of try to plan for that. You know, what would you want to get with your money once you have it in this upcoming bull run? Are you going to set a big chunk of it aside, in your bank or in USDC or USDT, a stable coin, and hold it until the market crashes next time and reinvest it? Are you gonna take some of it and invest into a business or into a property or a new house? So just kind of think about what you would like to do. Are you going to want to buy a new car, a new boat, or something like that? There's all kinds of things that, I would love to have, but, I want to make sure that I've got enough profits to do it with. I don't want to make, $100,000 and then go spend 70,000 of it on a new truck. Now, if I made like 500,000, maybe I'll go get a new truck and a new boat or something, but I'm not going to spend all of my investment on something that's going to depreciate in value. So a new vehicle, a new truck right now is $70,000 to $100,000. It's absolutely insane for a new truck right now. And you know what? As soon as you drive it off the lot, it's lost, like tens of thousands of dollars in value. And if your truck is a couple years old, you've probably lost, between $25,000 and $40,000 or $50,000 in its value. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I may even consider, even if I made 500,000 on this upcoming bull run, for an example. I don't think I'm going to make that much, but if I did, I probably still wouldn't go buy a brand new truck. I would probably go buy one that's a couple years old, that's already depreciated a ton in value, because the prices are going to start really crashing on these new vehicles because of the interest rates being through the roof. So try to plan out what you want to do with your money and be smart with it. You don't want to invest all this money and make these huge gains, take out your profits, and then spend it all on something that's just going to go down in value and you're back to square one. It can be heartbreaking for some people to go spend that money and then boom, it's gone and you got nothing now, to live off from or whatever. Is your goal to quit your job? Is your goal to retire or start your own business? So just keep in mind your goals and what you want to do and try to plan accordingly for that. And the most important thing here is, I got it on the bottom of this goals for the upcoming bull run, is don't be too greedy. I was greedy in the last bull run and it got me wrecked. I had over 6 figures in my portfolio. I was up a ton of money, and there were certain coins, I was heavily invested into like Eternity Chain and some other ones, and they were doing fantastic. Everyone was saying that Eternity Chain was going to over $100 per coin, possibly $1,000 per coin. And you know what? It hit $73 and it crashed. And then it crashed down to like $40 within, just overnight. And then people were like, well, we're just in a correction. So I held on to my coins because everyone thought it was going to come back and go even higher. And then it crashed down to $25. And then I'm sitting here with just almost at a loss at that point. And it's just like, it's very devastating when crypto crashes really hard and you haven't taken any profits out. So don't make that mistake. Now, I did take some profits out. Luckily, I took out my initial investment last bull run when I was up in the 6 figures. I took out my initial investment and put that back in the savings account. But I could have easily lost that if I hadn't taken that money out. And it would have been very devastating if that happened. So don't let that happen to you. Make sure you're taking out profits on the way out. I'm going to be taking out profits on the way up this time, and make sure that I've got some money stuck into my savings account, and I'm going to have some in stable coins because I'm going to plan on reinvesting a good chunk of it into the next bear market. And I'm going to be following that rainbow chart and seeing when we're hitting the dark blue and we get a crash in that fire sale zone. I'm going to be buying good chunks of crypto when that happens again, because I can pretty much guarantee that it's going to happen again. So even with these Bitcoin ETFs and stuff coming in, crypto is still very volatile until it gets well in the trillions and trillions of market cap. As far as I would say more than $20 trillion in market cap. Up until that point, I think there's still going to be people out there that can really manipulate crypto and manipulate the prices in Bitcoin and that like they are now. If people think that this is all based on the S&P 500 and all these other things, I can guarantee you out there's whales in crypto that have full control over this market, and they're using this Wall Street cheat sheet method to play with all of us. I mean, literally I've seen videos where there's been Bitcoin people, and they're in a group or a room all together, and whether this is actually true or not, but I've seen a video of this where they all sold at the same time on several different exchanges, and you'll see all the coins crash just in a matter of minutes. And then people start panic selling, and it drives the prices down lower, and then they buy up, and then they start pushing the price up, and they'll keep doing this over and over again. Now, that's just a rumor, but it's pretty much the only way it could be possible as far as how volatile crypto is. I mean, it'll crash like 40% overnight. It's just absolutely insane. No other markets really do that. So there's a lot of manipulation and control in the crypto market. But those are just some things that I wanted to cover with you guys. Make sure that you're keeping a level head and keeping smart about your investments. Don't go all in on anything. I don't care what the coin is. Make sure you're diversified. And I see people making comments about being all in on this or all in on that, and everything else is a scam. Whatever, if you feel that way, that's fine. But I just hope for your sake that you don't get burned in the upcoming bull run. I'm just trying to help new people out there so they don't FOMO into some project and get burned in the upcoming bull run. I want people to be safe and be diversified. Try to give level-headed advice here for everyone. You don't have to listen to it. You do what you want to do for your own portfolio. But if I can help somebody new out there not get burned in this upcoming bull run, I'm going to do that as best as I can. And if you got any questions, feel free to jump in my Telegram. That's a free community where we all talk about everything in there in our portfolios and stuff and try to help each other out. And if you're looking for a little bit more closer help and some one-on-one help or whatever, or a tighter knit community of people that do a lot of research on coins and stuff, feel free to join my Discord. That's only $9.99 a month for the basic club membership, and then I also have a VIP tier that comes with a lot more benefits as well if you're interested in that. And I do offer lifetime memberships for both of those for people who don't want to pay with a credit card and don't want to make a monthly payment. You can make just a one-time payment and get lifetime access to that if that's something that you're interested in. So I appreciate it, guys, if you would subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get notified of my daily videos. I try to put out quality content for you guys that's actually helpful and useful, and whether you listen to it or not, that's up to you. But I try to give people good advice as best I can and best I know how. And please give this video a like to get this out to more viewers, and we'll see you on the next one.